Hey guys, um, I know it's been a while since I've made a video, so I've just decided to do this. Well, it hasn't been a while actually because I posted that Dead by Daylight video, but I've decided to post this because this is really low effort as compared to other things because I don't really have to edit. Have you guys heard of the Weekly Slap? It's it's a podcast and YouTube channel run by Jay Schlatt himself, Jared Schlatt, however where he just talks, and it's usually him talking about deeper stuff or just rambling over some Call of Duty gameplay. I have Minecraft high pixel party games for you, which is it's okay footage. I literally just recorded it, and now I'm recording this audio separately. So it was like the first time I played party games in like at least a year. I'm not even sure exactly if I played before. And let's just say it wasn't the best. Um, I wanted to talk about my experience with university. Um, I graduated in 2024 and took a gap year working at a grocery store. And in 2025, I started going back to school. My school is around an hour away from from where my home actually is, but I do still have dorm on campus. I wanted to talk about how it's mentally affecting me because it's actually really weird. Um, I I enjoy being here because I believe that me in a learning and school environment is where I thrive. Um, that was proven in high school, at the very least. It hasn't been quite proven here yet, so I'm yet to see that. Um, and I really enjoy living alone. I got the dorm building that you don't have like a roommate, and even if I had a roommate, it would be just a roommate connected through a bathroom. But one thing I learned is that the single rooms, like the ones without roommates, is the worst building on campus. It is the oldest, and the internet is terrible compared to other dorms, as well as um, I moved here at the end of August, obviously. It was still really hot until mid September, and there's no air conditioning in the building. So the first few weeks were really rough because this is the first time that I've lived away from home for such a long period. Um, like I had gone across the country for a month one time in the summer, but I don't. I guess it wasn't different, but it feels so much different because I guess I am living here most of the time for 8 months, which 8 months is a little bit longer than 1 month. I think the classes are fine. I I wanted to get on the bigger campus of this school in a bigger city, 8 hours away from home instead of 1 hour. Um, but I feel like this is better for me with the transitioning and learning to live by myself in not a huge city, but definitely bigger than where I lived before. Um, and I feel like if I was on the other campus, I'd get lost a lot more, and I'd probably show up late to some classes. But here, uh, every single building that has halls in it, lecture halls or classrooms, is 5 minutes away from my dorm, which is probably the best part about living in this dorm building specifically, because all the other ones are a little bit further away. Doesn't really make the living part better though. Anyways, um, in term one, I took 4 classes, and I feel like moving into term two, I feel like term one didn't prepare me at all. Um, I was doing really low, like mentally already going into school, and then I was assuming big things, but I only really had one class. I dropped one because it was supposed to be a history class, and I was really interested. But then quickly I learned that it was more of an economics class, and the teacher's teaching style was really not meshing well with me. But the other classes I took were French, German, linguistic anthropology, and astronomy. Um, a lot of the classes that I got this year, well, not a lot, but I think 3 of them are off picks because I didn't make a backup schedule for my classes. And so on the day where I was supposed to be picking classes, it was kind of a mad dash because I had sorted everything out and I was like, "Oh, this is the perfect schedule." And then the website was like, "Yeah, screw screw you, man. You wanted to take this class? Oh, it's already full, even though it just opened." um, and all of those classes, French and German, they're language classes, so they were really light on reading and work. Astronomy was like the heaviest class because there was readings, there was assignments every week, which was like eight written questions about whatever the chapter was on. Um, and then the linguistic anthropology was online, and the exam and all of the quizzes in that class were uh, online open book. So that was a pretty easy A, I'd say. Good GPA booster. This term, I haven't dropped any classes yet, but if I wanted to, I have to decide pretty soon because I think it's the 16th. Um, but I'm taking 2 more anthropology classes. I'm taking cultural anthropology, which is online, and I'm taking archaeology. Those ones seems okay right now. Um, and then I'm also taking Introduction to Literary Genre, which seems just like a literature analysis class. Um, the professor is saying that the class is just a book club, which I guess that'd be good if I like read regularly. That's one thing I have to get used to. And then creative writing. That one I'm actually excited for. I want to start getting creative. Oh yeah, creative. And then I'm also taking sociology, which is on. Um, so with the anthropology classes, um, the main thing I've learned is that anthropology is a holistic um, study, which means that in order to actually like study properly, you need to take in all of the parts, and which is really good because it makes them connected. So some of the stuff that I learned from linguistic anthropology will carry over into archaeology and cultural anthropology, which thank goodness. But also, sociology is a different class that studies culture. So sociology and cultural anthropology will also be very intertwined. So I'm not too worried about those classes, and creative writing doesn't have an exam. The only thing I'm the only thing that I was worried about at the start of the week, which of course was the first week, um, as compared to now, which is the end of the week, Friday, is that like I was genuinely like shitting my pants. All of these classes, sociology, cultural anthropology, introduction to literary genre. No, why am I even listening? Why am I even listing them? Every single class has something that I have to read, which means that I have to read for at least an hour every day. Which that as compared to in high school, we had to read half an hour or 20 minutes. And those books I took out. Those books I was interested in. During the um, during my gap year, I didn't read at all. Actually, I read. I continued to read a book that I didn't finish in school, which was really poorly written, and I genuinely couldn't finish it. Um, and then I, I guess I just had like really low literary skills because I feel like for some reason reading like an hour feels like such a big huge thing to me, and I but like I know that if I just sit down and I chill, I'll be able to do it. Um I've also found that reading the online stuff is easier than reading the books that are like in my hand. Like I have for the literary genre one, we have to read the Canterbury Tales, which apparently is like this big famous one from like the 1300s or something. And we're we're supposed to be reading right now the general prologue and the Miller's Tale, and I think I'm supposed to be done both of those parts by the end of next week. And I've started reading. I've read like 10 pages. I don't know. It's somewhat easier because it has the original text on the left, which is like the ye old English, and then like the slightly more modern text on the right. So every 2 pages is 1 page, and that makes it a little bit easier. Um, but I think we're only reading like two of the actual tales from this, and then we're moving on to the Brothers Grimm with like Rapunzel. I think. I don't even. But like, it really like I was super concerned. I was super concerned that I was gonna have to read this much. Um, but so far, it's been kind of light, and I think I want to remain on top of it. I think it I think it'd be better if I remained on top of it. So, um yeah. I'm currently doing the Bachelor of Arts in this school with an undecided major. And I think one thing that I've learned and one thing that I'm telling people even though I've made the mistake myself is that you shouldn't apply to go to university or college unless you have an idea of what you want to do. Because I had an idea, and then it was a very loose idea. The more I thought about it, the more unsure I was, and it made me realize that it it's kind of like backwards me being here because I'm just taking random classes for the most part. Like I'm taking stuff that interests me, so it's not like entirely random. Like I like the study of humans, which is the direct translation of what anthropology means, and I like language. It's just like I think I have fear of committing to a specific degree or major. Um, my original idea, which is somewhat why I applied here, is that I wanted to major in French and then teach it, do the 2 year Bachelor of Education program. Um, I was I was feeling pretty good about that because I believed that I was passionate in French. This is because in high school I only got 100 in French, and that made me believe that I was really good at French, and everybody was telling me, "Oh man, you're so good at French," and I believed it, and I uh, enjoyed the presence of the teacher, and we collaborated, and I helped tutor her class in the last term of high school, and so I was like, "This doesn't seem like that big of a difference, right?" So then, after the gap year, I I took a gap year because I wasn't 100% sure about that. So I wanted to sit on it. I wanted to see if I could think of any other ideas. And I did. And taking these classes in the university has only really made me more unsure. Because, like I said, I was really confident in my French ability. And then, um, it was, I guess it's regular, but the French class in term one actually challenged me. Um, and it kind of scared me, I guess, but it definitely made me question. I still got an A in that class, but it wasn't an 100. It was an 85. And I know I shouldn't be taking it so seriously, and it should still be on the table. But it it one wavered my confidence in French, and two, I've been hearing like bad stories about teaching. I'm on TikTok way too much, and I for a while I found myself in a teacher oriented space, and there was just a lot of bad stuff going on. So like those two things really made me question it. But then also being here has actually helped me think about other things, right? Obviously, I've taken 3 of the 4 anthropology courses, well, the base ones, um, because anthropology is 4 things. It's physical anthropology, linguistic anthropology, cultural anthropology, and archaeology. And by the end of this year, I've taken 3 of them, and that is again the study of humans and the history of humans. And I think that's so cool. Um, and then there's also language, just like language in general, not necessarily French. Um, but I think the the confidence that I had in French shifted from being just confident in French and into confident in language or picking up language. Um, because it's not like German and it's not like German and French have similar systems. Um, and then also in linguistic anthropology, I learned about how a lot of dialects are built up, and that also really interesting. I could really go on about this. Um, Considering if I should edit this out. Nah, let's talk about something different because I think that's all I can get out of that. I'm really excited for Control Resonant. It's coming out this year. Control Resonant, Remedy Games, Sam Lake, you hack, because I think I'm addicted to Alan Wake. um, my first exposure to Alan Wake, I think, was when his skin got added to Fortnite in 2023. I think I was playing a lot of Fortnite in 2023. And then I think I played Control or a bit of it on Game Pass when I was still on my Xbox. But within the last half of 2025, I got addicted to two games, and they are Alan Wake and Dead by Daylight. I I got over, I don't think over, but I got at least 100 hours, almost 100 hours of Dead by Daylight in, and I played through all of the Remedy verse, all of the official ones. I played Alan Wake 1 and its DLCs, Control and its DLCs, and Alan Wake 2 and its DLCs. And I, for some reason, my brain is just like it's cursed. I can think about anything and connect it back to Alan Wake. And I could tell you anything about Alan Wake for some reason. I don't know if it should be more concerning or less concerning that I'm like so passionate about it. Um, but it was a good time to get addicted to Dead by Daylight because Alan Wake is also in that game. But Alan Wake has not come back to Fortnite, which is good because I want to stop giving Epic Games my money. I bought the most recent battle pass. What is it? Chapter 7, Season 1, because I really wanted Marty McFly, and the other original skins are also interesting. But if I saved my money, I could have bought like anything else. I didn't need to buy V Bucks. But it's Alan Wake. I'm Alan Waking it. Well, I don't think I have anything else to talk about. Um, if you guys have any questions or topics that you want me to ramble on about, put them in the comments, of course. Um, I hope you enjoyed my terrible Minecraft Hypixel party games, wherever it may be at right now. I recorded for like 40 minutes. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in another video.